Hello guys, perhaps you've heard of Dr. Rhine. Dr. Rhine was a famed psychologist who studied people who claimed to have ESP, extrasensory perception. And Dr. Rhine developed test after test after test to try to test these people who claimed to be psychic. Some of the tests involved coins, some of the tests involved a die, some of the tests involved colored chips, and then the last test involved ESP cards, and these are what Dr. Rhine is kind of known for creating. It was a deck of cards that only consisted of 5 symbols: a circle, a plus sign, wavy lines, a square, and a star. Well, everybody knows the test that Rhine did with the ESP cards, but not many people know about the test Rhine did with the colored chips. And so I wanted to show you today, give you a little insight onto the test that Dr. Rhine would do with the colored chips. This was the test that occurred right before the psychics got to the ESP card round. So this was the test leading up to the ESP round. It entailed of a box of colored pieces, just colored chips, I guess you could say, colored squares, colored blocks. 6 colors, and the psychic had 6 colors to choose from. In this case, I'm going to play the part of the test subject, the one who claims to be psychic, and you are going to play the part of Dr. Rhine, okay? So I'll play the part of the test subject, you play the part of Dr. Rhine. The test subject would take these colored chips and, using whatever method they claimed to use, whether it be some kind of specific process or some kind of drink, I don't know, sometimes people came up with crazy claims, but Dr. Rhine would allow them to do this to try to figure out which color Dr. Rhine would select in a moment. So I'm going to do this now. Once they had a color, they would put it inside of this box. And the point of them putting it inside of this box was so that they could not change their choice and it could not be manipulated in any way. So once they made their commitment, they would put the other colored chips into the big box out of the way. So they had committed to one of those colored chips that would sit inside of this box, okay? And now it came time to choose a color. Now, Dr. Rhine didn't choose a color based on what his favorite color was or anything like that, because he felt that the psychic test subject could just look up information about him, perhaps pay one of his friends to ask what color is his favorite color, and he didn't want them to be able to do any research that would help them out. So Dr. Rhine came up with the test using a die and a series of chips. There's one more in here that's kind of stuck in. There we go. A series of colored chips. And we'll just lay these out here. There are 6 chips, and you'd notice, of course, these 6 chips match the colors that are in the box that the psychic had to choose from, okay? Now, if you were here, I would allow you to do this, but since you're not, I'm going to do this. Dr. Rhine would take the die, roll it, and whatever the number equaled, he would use that color chip. So let's give it a test. First of all, I want you to see this is not a weighted die. That's a 4, that's a 1, that's a 6, that's a 1 again, that's a 5. Okay, so we've already had a ton of numbers, so you know this is not a loaded die. There's a 2, okay? So it really is a normal die. And if you were here, you would take it, you would roll it. Whatever number you roll, that's the chip we're going to use. So go ahead, shake it up. What is it? 2. So that would be 1, 2, orange, okay? Orange. Now, out of all of these color choices, you chose 2 again. If you had chosen 3 or 1 or 4, 5, or 6, okay? But you chose orange. Out of all the choices you could have made, you chose orange. And me, the psychic test subject, put 1 chip inside of the box, and it was indeed orange. And that is Dr. Rhine's infamous color test.